Yeah, we got the JJ takeover on First Take today. We got JJ Watt in the building. He'll be joining us in the second hour. And Top Gun gets to sit in Stephen A's chair because he's in LA. And apparently he was spotted at Catch last night eating Bang Bang Shrimp and Tuna Tartar. Plus, we got Mad Dog Wednesday, and I can't wait to hear what he's mad about. Probably found out that Bob Cousy once shot 1 for 18 in an elimination game in 1953. Let's go. First Take. Roll.
Wait, and you have Stephen A's collar.
You couldn't ask for more right here. Two of the all-time greats matching up.
Here is Curry for three, and that one straight through the heart. Poole dipping in the deep waters early here. Thompson catch and shoot. It's good. What a start for Golden State. Crowd is anxious here at Chase Center. LeBron with Wiggins on him. Long two is good. Reeves spots up and hits it. Look at James leave it for Anthony Davis. LeBron buries a three. Leaves it up top for LeBron. Davis, little fadeaway. Fouled, and down it goes. Davis, offensive board, and the putback. The Lakers starting to claw their way back, but he's still dangerous. Down it goes again. We are tied. The magic of Stephen Curry. Warriors down three. Jordan Poole lets it fly. No. A 28-footer.
I don't know why Poole can't get a little closer than that.
Anthony Davis, 30 points. Game one belongs to the Los Angeles Lakers.
I mean, if that's the prelude, I know what kind of show it's going to be. Stephen A. Should we just give him a standing O? I mean, what do we do right now?
Yo, man. Yo. Doggy, it's good to see you. JJ, my brother, I can't even front. You did that. You did that thing.
Yeah.
You did that thing. I got to give it to you. I didn't know you had it in you, bro. I am stunned. Shocked. Wow.
Stunned?
Wow.
Shocked?
Stunned.
It's a little strong.
Wow.
Yes.
I didn't know you had that in you, JJ.
Pleasantly surprised?
Jay, I didn't know you had that in you, my brother. I major props. I'm proud. I'm
All
so
right.
Stephen A,
right,
hold on.
man.
You know how Stephen A, you know how I watch film? You know how I watch film?
Yes.
I had Tatiana send me some film last night. So,
Right.
I just I'm learning from greatness from you, man. I'm learning from
My
greatness
man.
from you.
This is range, but I love the detail with the Bang Bang Shrimp and Tuna Tartar.
That's right.
That's very Stephen A. All
I mean,
right,
that
let's
was a
go,
lie.
guys.
I didn't eat that.
We know, but it would be something you would eat. All right, staying with the West Coast, we had a thriller last night. How about those Lakers took game one of their series with the Warriors behind a huge performance from Anthony Davis, put up 30 while snagging 23 boards, 4 blocks. LeBron added 22, 11, and 3, and they're the only pair of players in the Lakers playoff history to score over 20, grab 10 rebounds, and have at least 3 blocks in multiple games. The Warriors were a long Jordan Poole 3-point attempt away from tying it with just under 10 seconds in the game. Here's Steve Kerr and Steph on Jordan Poole's controversial final shot attempt.
I had the timeouts left, but I saw them double teaming Steph at half court. So I knew somebody was going to be wide open if we could just get the ball out. And Steph did a great job. He got the ball out of the trap, and Jordan was wide open, and pretty good look. And that's a shot he can hit. So really, happy with that possession. And again, this Jordan had hit 6 threes already, so it's a great shot for us.
It's kind of in rhythm shot. But I'm sure he felt pretty good about it. That's why he shot it. There's no kind of regrets on that. It's just make or miss type situation. A lot of trust in him and his ability to put the ball in the basket.
All right. S.A., do you have a problem with Jordan Poole's final shot?
I had a problem with the distance personally. It's not that he can't make that shot. I just thought that he was in position to get a better shot that was more in rhythm. But I certainly can't fault the rationale that both Steph Curry and Steve Kerr expressed. And that has to be taken into consideration. He can shoot. He's already hit 6 threes in this particular game. He had hit a 3 just a couple of minutes earlier, less than a couple of minutes earlier. So I got to give credit where credit is due in that regard. And I really appreciate the breakdown by Legs and all the others on Get Up this morning when they talked about how, and especially Jay Williams as well, when they talked about how, Draymond Green and Poole, if they were at fault for anything, it was getting up the floor a little bit late. having Steph in a position where ultimately he was getting doubled and ultimately had to unleash the ball. They should have been a threat earlier and got up to, got beyond half court a little bit sooner. Their spacing should have been better, by the way, as well. But in the end, in terms of the actual shot itself, it's not a huge problem with it because Poole can make that shot. He had made 6 threes earlier. But in the end, considering the space that he had available to him, he could have stepped into it a little bit better, set his feet a little bit better, so he'd have a better opportunity to make that shot. But that's nitpicking.
Yeah, I had no problem whatsoever with Jordan Poole's shot attempt. I think an important piece of this that I hope people understand is that there's a philosophy around fouling up 3. And generally speaking, every coach is different, but it's somewhere around the 6 to 8 second mark. You foul, you prevent the game-tying shot, and then you rely on your own free throw shooting to sort of close out the game. A lot of coaches do it. I'm not saying Darvin Ham was going to do it, but we've all been in that situation enough to know when you do get a clean look, 10 seconds or under, you got to take it. You may not have another opportunity to shoot a clean look. So that's the first point I want to make. The second point is he was open. We've got the tracking data with Second Spectrum. When he caught the ball, the closest defender was 9 feet away. That was Jared Vanderbilt, who ended up closing out on him. Jordan Poole has made shots like this. We've seen him make 30-footers before. And given the type of game he was having, you have, like Steve Kerr said, you have to be happy with that shot attempt to tie the game.
I don't know if Bob Cousy would have taken that shot.
Here we go.
Oh, my
But
God.
I don't.
It's a Mad Dog Wednesday.
I'm basically with JJ on it. I mean, you can make an argument. He could quibble a few feet in. It is a long way. What's his percentage of making that? 31, 32%?
He's 32-ish overall.
Even from that
this
distance,
season,
you want to add a little less percentage because he's a little further away than a normal three-point shot. But generally speaking, they got a good look at it. They made sure that Curry wasn't going to beat him. I can't go crazy. That's not why Golden State lost the game, because the shots flew too far. The Lakers were better last night. So I'm not going to go necessarily crazy on it. He had a good ball game.
Yeah. And you all kind of agree on it.
I mean, I think Steve's probably a little further out there than the two of us are, but I don't have a problem with the shot.
Stephen A., let me ask you this. I want to spin this forward. Are the Lakers unbeatable with this version of Anthony Davis?
I wouldn't say unbeatable. I mean, they wouldn't be unbeatable against Denver with this version of Anthony Davis. They wouldn't be unbeatable against Boston or Philadelphia with this version of Anthony Davis, because obviously Jokic and Embiid specifically would have something to say about that as well. I certainly don't believe that, but I think in this particular series, there's no question you're going to have a problem. Kevon Looney cannot guard Anthony Davis. We knew that coming into the game. We applaud him and his efforts, and he exceeds whatever talent he's perceived as having with his effort, his IQ, his commitment to excellence. 23 rebounds last night. You don't want to take anything away from Kevon Looney, but he is no Anthony Davis, and we keep forgetting our critique of Anthony Davis, so much so that Anthony Davis forgets it, JJ and Doggy, which is why I get disgusted with Anthony Davis. I can't stand when people mix up the criticism or the argument against him. No one has ever questioned the greatness of Anthony Davis. What we've said is his durability is questionable. The fact of the matter is that he's not always available because he's oft injured. That's it. When Anthony Davis is on the basketball court, everyone knows a healthy Anthony Davis is a top 7 player in the game of basketball. He's that big time. He's that big time. When I saw 30 and 22, all right, you want to point to the 23 rebounds? That was somewhat of an aberration, and I'll give you that. But 30 for Anthony Davis is something that he can do in his sleep when he is on the court healthy. It's automatic. This brother walked around when healthy throughout his career, averaging about 28 and 12. You know, we know what Anthony Davis can do. And so when people talk about him and what he brings to the table, I would only say, look, you're talking about his durability, his availability. That is the knock against Anthony Davis. But from a skill perspective, him versus Kevon Looney, that's another stratosphere. Looney ain't even in his stratosphere, and we understand that. And Anthony Davis showed that last night. And the Golden State Warriors are going to have to come up with a remedy for that, because they're not a big team, obviously. And Anthony Davis should own them this series. That doesn't mean it'll be enough to win the series, but obviously it will help immensely.
Well, here's what I took out of the game. And we all know, and I'm with Stevie, when he plays great, Anthony Davis, if he's healthy, he's a great player. I could even say top 5 or 6. But regardless of that, I didn't think the Lakers could win the series prior to this game last night. I know the Warriors had a little less rest, but I just thought with their offense, shooting threes, LeBron a little older, Anthony Davis, whether he play, whether their outside shooting be good enough. I'm on the other side now. I can see the Lakers. They can win the championship. I don't know if they will because a lot of things are going to have to go right. And they're not a great outside shooting team, but they played very well last night. They got some contributions out of D'Angelo Russell, and one day he's great, and the next day does nothing. But they got good contributions out of him. Reeves made some big baskets for him, a nice alley-oop pass that we showed in the highlights. Davis was unbelievable. LeBron can fill in when he wants to fill in. They got a couple of guys off the bench. Schroeder played a very good game last night. Schroeder, I never pronounce his name right. The kid, I never get the other guy's name right either. The Washington, the guy they got from the Bullets, Chachura. He's a good little player. He can, how do you pronounce his last name?
What?
Hachimura. Yeah. He made. Right. He didn't have a great game last night, but he's effective off the bench. Lakers are very good. They can beat Golden State. They can beat them. And I didn't think they could before last night. Think about this. Golden State got a great game out of Thompson, got a good game out of Poole, and, Curry was double-teamed a lot. Not a great game, but it's certainly a decent game out of Curry, and they still lost. And they were down by 14 with 6 minutes to go. That, to me, is a bad sign for the Warriors.
Two quick things before J.J. chimes in here. Number one, Klay Thompson didn't have that great a game. He shot 9 for 25. That's number one.
He played well in the game.
I'm just saying, he shot 9 for 25. Not for
you heard Van Gundy in the game? Did you hear Van Gundy in the fourth quarter?
I don't give a damn what. I respect Jeff Van Gundy, but I don't give a damn about him agreeing with your point. 9 for 25 is 9 for 25. That's number one. Number two, odd number games. Games 1, 3, 5 of the first round, and game 1 last night, Anthony Davis is averaging 28.5 points, 55% shooting, over 17 rebounds a game. Even number games, 2, 4, and 6, 13.7 points, 39% shooting, 11.3 rebounds.
That's a good argument.
Floor is yours, JJ.
Did you guys ever watch the movie Little Big League? Anybody see that?
Yeah.
It's about a 12-year-old boy that gets to take over the Minnesota Twins. And in the movie, the ongoing joke, the Twins play-by-play announcer, that he'll come up with these stats like on Wednesdays when it's cloudy outside versus left-handed pitchers, when there's a second baseman, he bats .321. Stephen A., that was one of those stats. Wow, yes. That was remarkable. You really pulled that out of your bag. I appreciate that. Look, I think no team is unbeatable. No team that's left in the playoffs this season is unbeatable. Anthony Davis playing like this makes them true contenders, true title contenders. And it's not just the production on offense. It's not just the rebounding. To me, if you watch the Lakers play and you watch when Anthony Davis was on the floor this season, even prior to the trade deadline, he had a first-team all-defense type season. When he is engaged on that end of the floor, he's as good as there is at that position. The Warriors have to make some sort of adjustment, and it may be a lineup adjustment. You look last night in the fourth quarter, when they made their 14-0 run, it was with Looney on the bench. And I'm not saying you bench Looney for the game. I'm saying you have to play small. And we'll get into this a little bit in the second hour, but that's the adjustment if you're the Warriors, because LeBron, Draymond Green, and Looney are on the floor, are just camped out in the lane. They're not even guarding them. And so what that does, what the Warriors rely on for the three-point shooting is to create layups. And if they're going to ignore their non-shooters, then you're never going to get to the basket, because guess who's lurking there in the paint? It's Anthony Davis. They were 4 for 17 against him last night, plus the 4 blocks. Like, to me, his value, LeBron can score points, Austin Reeves can score points, Russell can have big games. His value for this team to be a championship team is as much on the defensive end of the floor as it is on the offensive end of the floor.
All right, let's keep it going, guys. The Knicks have evened up the series, Stephen A., after a 4